it's day 12 of 12 Days of Hope, which means today is the last day. I can't believe it's already over, but thank you so much guys for hanging with us while we finished out this project, and we have something really exciting planned for you guys today. We're actually delivering 12 Bibles to probably 12 different kids in Springfield, but before we deliver them, we've been wrapping the Bibles. Cameron and Jeb have 12 tips for wrapping your presents this holiday season.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here and ready to learn how to wrap a present properly like you mean it.
It all begins with, cutting the proper size. Okay, tip number 1. I recommend skinny fingers. Make sure that if over the holidays you put on a couple pounds on your fingers, lose it. Finger exercises, because this is the worst case scenario. You get the scissors, you can't cut anything because your fingers are too plump.
Oh no, I got my fingers in, but...
Skinny fingers to avoid situations such as those.
Present placement is very important, and this is tip number 2. Make sure that you place it either in the center, on the left, or on the right. And this can be done either direction if you have the proper know-how.
This brings you to the next step, what has to do with folding. Now the thing is, when you're folding, if you're not careful and you go reach for the tape,
oh no.
The forces have unfolded your wrapping paper. So this is where the elbow technique comes in. Now this is going to seem a little bit opposite of what I recommended for the first one, but this requires a rather plump elbow. So what you want to do is you want to go like this, fold it up, make sure you have your meaty elbow, and stick it on, okay? Once you do this, this brings you to the tape snag. Drop it because you don't want to move your elbow in the transfer. And look at that. So, to sum tip number 3 up, make sure the day before you wrap presents, you eat a lot. And make sure it goes right to your elbow, because that helps. So once you do that, that'll help with the transfer.
And there are certain foods that will go to your elbows as opposed to your fingertips. If they go to your fingertips, you're in trouble.
Check out our website for a proper diet on gift wrapping.
And this food, I'm gonna give you a little hint into that, and it is elbow macaroni. Not spaghetti, elbow macaroni, okay? That is how you get the right carbs into the right place, okay?
Right on. Never have butterfingers.
Yes.
That will grease your fingers right up.
On that note, tip number 4. How do you deal with edges that aren't even? Oh, most of us want to give up, rip it off, start over. This is where scissors come into play.
Scissors.
You want to even it down. You want to make sure that the person that gets this gift doesn't think it was wrapped by a gorilla. Okay?
Because gorillas have very chunky fingers.
And so I'm not going to be able to even out this, but what I'm attempting to do for the sake of this video is to even it out from this side, the good side. And as you can see, this side's already fairly even, so we might leave that side. As you can see, not all of you might be able to have such a perfect cut, and you see it's still a little bit of a flap up here, and so what you can do, you don't have to, but if you choose to get rid of this little flap here, if you can see that right there, this is kind of annoying, what you can do is just taper it off. See that taper? Okay, and so now you have a nice edge. Okay. And that jumps right into tip 5, which is taper away as I have done here. You give it these nice smooth, round edges. Clamp, taper away.
One of the important parts of wrapping is how to look at your gift. So the key element you must remember is tip number 6, the cutoff triangle technique.
This technique is extremely valuable.
As you look into this little part right here, you will take a nice look at the top of the triangle. Looks like it has been tapered off. That adds to the effect, so when you can taper a cutoff triangle, it will help you be resourceful even working with jagged, crooked edges.
On to tip number 7. Starting here, it is press. It is press. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties with my hands. press, fold, and finish. Okay, PFF. Press, fold, and finish. That's how you remember this one.
Easily.
Yes. Okay, so now you fold it, and now we're here ready, and we have this little thing, but it's not a big deal because we are going to finish it. And as you can see here, we're not going to leave this jagged edge, we're going to make our own. Elbow technique to find the tape. 2 free hands.
Always
Drop
drop
the tape.
it.
Always drop the tape.
Always. If you don't drop the tape, then you don't have 2 hands free.
What's the point of having 2 hands? You might as well just give it to someone that doesn't.
Tip number 8, guys, is a little bit different. It has to do with the motives of your heart. I happen to be a personal advocate of lots of tape because I like to see children scream in rage. You know, I think it's funny when people try to open a gift and they're sitting there for 5 minutes and they can't. But that's just personal opinion. I personally get kicks and giggles out of things like that. So if you are a more, calm person and you prefer to have people, oh, a gift. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy. Or you prefer, when they open the gifts, put a little more tape on it, So basically the motives of your heart. So, my recommendation is read your Bible.
Tip number 9. This tip, I would have to call it rage binding. So I've already gotten it started right here. As you can see, right here at the top, you always start on the edge, not over, not behind, halfway on the edge, okay? And then from here, because you know that kid will get a kick out of this, you wrap. See this technique, notice it. Drink it in. Thank you. Okay, and then you clasp, fold. Okay, this is for all of those of you who are heavy tapers. All right, and you taper around this way, and then always after the first 2 circles, all right, always go over the far corner because in an effort to save tape, as the smart, thrifty people you are, you save this little bit of tape and you go over the corner and around the bend. And look at that, before you know it, you've turned it. And this child will be screeching in rage. See this? Other corner. You've hit all the corners at this point, with which you can come back to the very starting point and end it.
Tip number D-Ace. Placement of your gift is also important. The eyes are what buy into a gift first rather than the heart. I learned that in my Chinese proverb class back in my glory days. You see, when you set the gift down, for example, you're sitting here with a kid, you stick it, pretend Megan's a kid, we'll set the gift down in front of her. Did you see how sloppy that was? What kind of person would wrap a nice gift and drop it sloppy?
Absolutely horrible.
Yes, that's called a slop drop.
Major mistake. Slop
Huge
drop.
mistake. They'll automatically count you out, open your gift last, and embarrass you in front of your family. Proper placement, C grips. C grips. Transfer to the palm. Grab. Slow motion for you. C, transfer, grab. CCT grab. That's what they call it, the CCT grab. So C, transfer, grab. Slide. Beautiful. When you put it down with such ease and class and snazz and pizzazz, what could go wrong?
Tip number 11, labeling. There might be some of you out there that see polka dot wrapping paper and then see whatever this tape is, and it makes you want to hurl. But you know what? This is the only tape that you have, and you don't know how to conceal it. That is tip number 11. And so here is Exhibit A, and this one is how not to do it, okay? I don't want to show all of this appalling tape over top of the gift like we had here, Exhibit A. This is yet a different variation of the C-clamp. Again, do not try it home. So what you do, you have your card. So you lay it face down, face down. That's very important for when you clasp it later to put it on the present. You take your allotted amount of tape, depending on how much you have. You can work with a lot here, okay? And you will cut with the scissors.
Scissors are key for cutting. Why do you think they call them scissors?
Exactly. Thank you very much. And now you will fold. One fold, and then two fold. And just before you know it, look what you have here. Tape all around the outside. Yeah, look close.
Ooh.
Now, you're already prepped and ready to go.
Preparation is key.
Is
Key
already
element.
set. Yes, failing to plan is planning to fail.
You heard it here first.
You are ready to place. Pick up with said tape. One finger is all you need. Turn over, clasp, and place. And what do you have here?
Nothing more but a beautiful Christmas
An
gift.
excellent Christmas gift for all of those of you
Excellent.
just still learning. Proper C-clamps.
Beautiful. Guys, that brings us to tip number 12. You start thinking forward to the next year. You get a little nervous.
Yes.
So my recommendation is only buy books and boxes for your kids. No one wants to get caught in the mustard wrapping a basketball. You got, classic scenario. Night before Christmas, you're panicking. You realize that everybody bought gifts for your kids, but you gotta wrap them. They bought a train. They bought a basketball. They bought a hula hoop. Nobody wants to wrap a hula hoop. So my recommendation, guys, is buy a box. A music box is fine, as long as it doesn't have the little turn doohickey, because that'll pull right through the tape. So, as a wise counselor to all you listening in, buy a box or a book. Besides, what better book is there than the Bible?
Those are 12 Christmas tips to help you out with your Christmas wrapping. And you might notice these totally rad hats
rad.
that we have on our heads. And hat taking off, that is completely not the color I thought I had on.
There's all kinds of ways to take the hat off.
Yes.
There's the back pull and release.
Back pull and release. Yes. There's the shove and spin.
The pinch and pull. Guys, all in all, there's so many techniques that we can show you guys about. Comment in the comment section what you want to know. Whether it is how to work a pen. There's one way to do it in church. And you didn't hear the click.
Exactly.
You see, lots of things.
There are so many things that we take for granted that some people might not even know that we are here to help you with. So comment below what you think we should help you with, maybe have a guide for.
And you can always come to us for tips and tricks on life skills.